joint session of our National Assembly, a parliament that embodies the will of Nigerian people. Today, as I enter this grand edifice built from the sweat and toil of our democratic yearning, my heart stirred. It was a blend of accomplishment and resolve. I felt a sense of collective accomplishment when I realized how far we had come as a nation. Since 1999, democracy has risen from the ashes and destitution of military rule to take its original rightful place as the only mode of governance of resilient and beloved people. With every footstep I took through this hallowed hall, up to the moment I now stand before you, I remember that we still have so much and a lot for that to go. To achieve this progress, we sought an elective office to lead this nation forward. Thus, I hereby affirm before you, our merciful and almighty God, and all men, and resolve to do all that I could do to safeguard and build our democracy as the divine hand intend for us to do.
A very good afternoon to you, our viewers. Welcome to another wonderful episode of the Round Table. My name is Shegun Odunayo. Happy Democracy Day, Nigerians. June 12th, the new democracy day. Of course, remember what happened a couple of years ago when former President Muhammadu Buhari declared that we're going to be shifting the celebrations from the 29th of May, which was the tradition, to the 12th of June. In celebration of the late, of course, I think we can now say the late elected president, but that was never president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, in Chief Moshood Kashimawo Olalekan Abiola, of course, MKO Abiola. And today is the celebration. It's public holiday everywhere except if you're an essential worker like some of us. And the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was meant to address the nation today, but he said, you know what, it can be better. I'll be speaking with the National Assembly, and then that can equally be sent to the entire country and even the world, so that everyone can be a part of this celebration. And indeed, he addressed both chambers,
I stand before
the Senate
this
and the House of Representatives
joint session
in
of
joint
our
sitting,
national
that was chaired by both the
Assembly.
Senate President,
A parliament that embodies the will of Nigerian people. Today, as I enter,
we meet two of our lovely analysts in the house who will be doing this alongside myself this day. To my very left is Mr. Chukudi Akasike here. Very good afternoon to you, sir. To my right is Mr. Adekunle Aliu.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Perhaps in the spirit of the Democracy Day, dressing
democratically.
dressing democratically. Very quickly, we'll be starting, like we always do here, with the first topic of three. And the first topic today, we're going to be perusing, analyzing, dissecting, and looking at the speech of the President and National Assembly earlier today from various lenses. If you didn't know what happened, you'll be hearing quite a bit from us this afternoon. I'll be starting with you, Mr. Adekunle Aliu. The President did two things. Spoke about the progress in quotes, because his administration for some persons, for many persons actually, have not been progressive, but he was analyzing what they've done so far, and he was conferring national honors on a couple of eminent Nigerians, dead and alive. Number one was Shehu Yaradua, his leader. We gave the GCFR honor. For those who do not know, the GCFR is the highest honor in the land,
Commander,
and only the president occupies that particular position. And he gave that to the late Shehu Musa Yaradua, his boss and one of the leaders of Nigeria in yesteryears. Of course, followed by the likes of Professor Wole Soyinka, late Chief Bola Ige, and a host of even media gurus. Dapo Olorunyomi, Mr. Dapo, popular known as Dapsy, now one of the aides of the president who was himself one of the leaders of journalism in the 1990s downwards, in the 80s, in the 90s. I'm talking about the PM News boss, and of course, a lot of other persons. What's your opinion? Very
so all these people that I gave award to, they were at the front line. They were part of those who did the democracy fight during the military era. Yeah. So, good. They've been honored. Good. Somehow they've gotten something out of that struggle. Kudos to the president for remembering them. I think that's a well-deserved one for them and for those who got something from it. But having said that, see, the speech of the president, we should not be pessimistic in this country. We should be hopeful. That's a fantastic speech. That man reeled out all the achievements and things he is doing. Maybe some people are not feeling the effects. Yeah, it's possible. But he has done some things. Somebody was telling me yesterday, look, let's not be antagonistic. Let's be sincere. This president is doing something. He's moving us to a better trajectory. We may not even agree with me, people may not agree with me, but I'm saying we are moving. We are not static. We are not waiting. The opposition might say a lot they want to say because they have to say something. But I know deep inside their hearts, they know that, look, we are on the right trajectory. So fantastic speech. He talked about his achievement. He gave award. And he gave hope. That, look, we're doing this. This will bring about this. The Naira is stabilizing, and if you ask for quite a while, it is between 160, 1,600 and 150, 1,500. We've seen some relative. Dude, that's not what we want. We could have loved for the Naira and the dollar to be at par. But again, based on our economy, can we have it at par? Is it possible to be at par? Based on our style of production, can we be at par? No. It can be at par, except maybe we want to debate, and even if we debate today, we will see right level. But fantastic speech. Don't let us bellyache about it. Good speech. We might not be hopeful, but we should be hopeful because that is what the speech should be. It should give us hope, encouragement. I have a problem with those who are always pessimistic. Yeah, they are not realistic. Like Mr. Obi said, Atiku said, we are not where we should be. Where would we be? Can we jump beyond this? If he's the president, can we do beyond that?
We know that be better than any of the other.
Can you tell me, can anybody increase the fund beyond this? Can anybody make magic and bring the money from anywhere? It's the resources you have, the oil you said that you use to make money. The society, what are we creating? What are we making? What is the impact of our scientists, our manufacturers in the world that is so much like that of the China or maybe that of Japan? Where's our cars in the world? Where's our
exports?
Production. So, since we are missing that,
very low.
Since we are missing that, I think when you're doing your criticism, look at the big ball. Because if we make you the president, if you can't do better, then you're worse.
Okay. Some persons have said the president was just dashing honors to his horse. And some persons have equally said that the president was using our national honor for political gimmicks. I've given you something. Somebody said the likes of Professor Oleshenka, who have been giving awards now, top guys, how would they be able to criticize the same man who has, giving them some of these things?
I disagree with that. If you look at the list from the little I know there, he has President Bola Tinubu has shown in that area that he knows what he's doing, and he is aware of the Nigerians who have gone beyond the ordinary to help improve the country or help put the country in the limelight. Wole Soyinka is not a small person. No matter how you calibrate or grade, he's a big fry, he's a big man. The one that really struck me most is Ken Saro-Wiwa, because at the Ogoni 9, Ken Saro-Wiwa has been was at the forefront of Ogoni freedom, Ogoni emancipation, Ogoni struggle, and many followers or many people of especially of the Niger Delta, apart from Ogoni people, beyond Ogoni people of the Niger Delta have saying, recognize this man, recognize his struggle, and the offense they said he committed, he never committed it. The killing of Ken Saro-Wiwa is in no way justifiable. You can't justify it in any sane society. So for Abacha to have ordered the killing of Ken Saro-Wiwa is something that is
Even if we look at
that
it
is not good.
what's the Ogoni 9 all about? The Ogoni people or about Nigeria?
It is about justice.
It's about justice.
It is about justice. It's about justice. You come to somebody's land to take oil, and yet the people are facing poverty. So killing the man is not justifiable. And the what I call it what is bestowed on him now is an indication that Nigeria has come to realize that man was killed for fun. He was killed unjustly, and there should be a kind of apology to the family. But with the award given to posthumous award,
and they gave them forgiveness. So I think
so it's free now, and what the government should do now is to see how they can compensate the family. Yes. So what he has done so far, what the president has done in this area is commendable, is excellent, and the right people were given the right award.
Okay, about his speech outside of the awards now, the speech of hope and what they've done so far and what he wants to do.
Yes.
He was talked about the fact that very soon there are going to be some vocational trainings and all of that, about 400,000 and so on.
Yeah.
What's your opinion about that?
It's a welcome development. If some people are pessimistic, you cannot blame them, because it will be difficult for you to see a country that has gone through more than 30 years of, will I call it bad governance, will I call it misrule, and we still remain optimistic. So what the president is giving us is a message of hope, that we should be hopeful. And from the area of development, the only thing that can wake the economy up now is an aggressive funding of SMEs, small businesses, small business enterprises. Yes, small scale enterprise. So if we can do that, Nigeria can push itself to becoming another Japan. Ensure you do that, and ensure you follow it up, so that people who are into tech, people who are into artisans and other areas should be funded, so that they can be able to help the economy to wake up. Because as it is, the economy is not salutary. What we are seeing so far is not good enough, and that is why the president should not rest on his laurels. He should know that there are many things to be done within the next 2 years if he wants Nigerians to see him as another Awolowo, as another Azikiwe, and as another Tafawa Balewa.
26 years of our return to democracy. It's not just about President Tinubu's speech today, but in a few minutes, what have we been able to achieve when we returned to democracy in 1999? Some persons thought that in the next 3 years, or at worst at the end of President Obasanjo's reign and tenure, perhaps the military boys will be back. But it's been consistent 26 years of democratic rule, the bad, the good, and the ugly.
So we are moving. It tells you that Nigerians are interested in democracy. We may not have it perfect, but we are moving. We are not slow about it. We are not recalcitrant. We are moving. We are going forward. We are going forward. We are going forward. So find democracy. It may not be perfect as some people want. Some people want it to be like heaven, where the right person is chosen by God. But again, in this system and the way we are, we can't do it. It's until we improve our sincerity, our integrity, our love for the nation. At every point in time when we say Nigerian first, Nigeria first, and we fight for Nigeria in every step, then we can bring our democracy to where we want it to be. What people are saying that they don't want the democracy to be that when you're choosing leaders, because election is not about democracy alone. Democracy is about freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom to association, freedom to live in the country and have hope, and freedom to also protest and have hope that, look, I can grow and be better in this state. Freedom to make Nigeria great in my own office, in my own way. So if we all can contribute our quota, we can get to that Uhuru where we're looking for.
Democracy, let me say, democracy is a means to an end, and not an end on itself. Because what we should do is, one, ensure that we reform our democratic processes. If we don't reform it, we'll find out that people will come up, people who are not supposed to occupy certain positions will find themselves there. Too rigging, too political, what would I call it, election violence. So far, we have not been able to protect Nigerians from electoral violence, from rigging. Nigerians are asking for electoral reform that will ensure that those voted in are not, that's votes are not manipulated. If you have a democracy that where votes are manipulated, it is not democracy. It is something else. We'll find a name for it.
So that's why I'm saying
it is
that
criminal.
we
because let me tell you, electoral terrorism is worse than any kind of terrorism you talk about. Because if you get it wrong from the electoral process, let me tell you, you are bringing in insecurity. You are bringing in hunger. You are bringing in all the negative things that a country that wants to develop will not want. So we must get it right in our democratic process. If not, we'll be making a mess of ourselves. And say we want to because we are in democracy, we have to develop. We won't develop if we don't get it right.
Still talking about Democracy Day celebrations. The president, the presidency, and the National Assembly stakeholders and leaders were all in Abuja, and they were in the National Assembly complex. However, some other Nigerians were celebrating Democracy Day in Nigeria via other means. A group of Nigerians hit the streets in various states to celebrate, in quotes now. In Lagos, protesters were out there talking about the suffering, the pain that this government has brought upon them in the last 2 years. In Abuja, reports had it that at first, the security operatives didn't allow protesters to operate, but after some time, they wriggled their way through and they found the space to operate in other quarters outside of the place that they had said they were going to be protesting. In various parts of the country, in Benue State, for example, there were pro-Tinubu and pro-Aliyah rallies, and people were really protesting. Of course, you can't stop people, or you can't teach people whom to protest for or how to protest. They were pro and against the government rallies held today. I'll be coming to you now, Mr. Kasike. In Lagos, one of the epicenters, if not the epicenter of protesting in Nigeria, there were protesters in Ikeja on that bridge. There were some other protesters at Maryland or Jota, the Ganifa axis. They were saying Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. As I'm talking to you, I'm sure our producers are even playing some of the clips we got from the people earlier in the day. What's your opinion about this type of Democracy Day celebrant?
I just imagine myself, as an unbiased person. If I'm passing by the side of the protesters, will I have the moral fiber to say you are a liar? They are not lying. The policies are hitting hard on Nigerians. The policies, economic policies, are. Though we were told that the gains will come, very soon. But the fact is that Nigerians must not die, because Nigerians should not die before the gains come. I was talking about why will a disco, give somebody a 71,000 naira bill in an economy that 70,000 is the minimum wage. That is inexplicable. A man staying in 3-bedroom flat should not be paying 71,000 naira. I don't know how they want to calculate it. Yes, the things are hard, but 71,000 naira is outrageous and inconsiderate. Because if I go out to protest about this, Nigerians will say it is. That's an example. That's an example.
The fact that, look, we the people have to work for we the people. We don't have to be exploiting the people. We don't have to be cheat on the people. Just because one would say, the moment we can say we are for Nigerians, every businesses, every politicians, every doctor, every nurses must work for the people. So how do you rate, or how do you come about a man with a 3-bedroom flat paying 70-something thousand naira as light bill in a month? So make it open, make it plain, so that he sees it and he can walk his light and walk his way and reduce this payment. But where it is covered in shrouded in secrecy, then we have issues. And that's where we Nigerians are now. A lot of things we don't know are happening, and it's making us to complain. Even as the president is putting in place good policies, we see some people trying to cover it with lies and
So it's
deceive the
not the
majority.
president's fault.
You are saying no. See, how do we?
Somebody said,
You have said good policy. You have said good policy. How do
Somebody
you
said,
define
"I
a
will
good
remove
policy
fuel
when it
subsidy,
has not?
But I will not remove it haphazardly." And it was like, what do you mean? What's haphazard? People have removed it before in systematic style, and it has not worked. This is the first time somebody is taking the bull by the ear and saying, "Let it go once and for all."
Let us not go into the argument of subsidy removal.
Once and for all.
Is there still subsidy any
It was when the prices on the international market rose to a level where if they had brought that same effect on Nigerians,
And that's the debate.
perhaps-
That's a debate. Now we know. Now we know that there is no longer.
eventually it could not be removed.
Because if we still have subsidy, we won't be having the battle we are having with the people like the Dangotes and the private refineries that are building up. These are the things
That's
we are
because
saying.
it has come
When
down
you
on the
listen,
international
see,
market.
let's
If
go.
it goes really high, like
Let's
it went-
let's go to the protest we are
Are
talking
we
about.
going to be-
See, those who are protesting, will you ask the question?
I have not finished.
Are you listening to the government?
Yes.
Do you understand what the government is saying? Do you believe in the government? Why are you not believing in the government? Why don't you understand why this is this? So if you don't believe in the government and you believe in some politicians or those who are deceiving you or deceiving the people because of their own gain, you will go out of.
I disagree. I disagree with you.
say
You know why I
you're hungry.
disagree with
But
you?
if you know there is a hope.
No.
there's light at the
Do you
end
know?
of the
Do you
tunnel.
know the effect
what I'm
of
saying that is
subsidy
that-
removal?
See,
Do you know the
it's
effect
a lot.
of subsidy? It's a
lot.
simple thing.
It's a
It's a
shake.
simple thing.
It's a shake on the
What
economy,
it does,
but
what
it
it does is to remove your earnings. Is to remove more than 60% of your earnings
same thing with the
and
land
put
bill.
it in the hands of government.
No. Yes.
It's a simple thing. It's a simple thing. When you remove subsidy, you will buy fuel that you used to buy 25 liters. You used to buy 4,500.
on your own.
Will be 25,000.
So now you manage.
Where is the money going?
Before you can go to the toilet.
At the end of the day,
you can
the
go to
government is
toilet and
richer.
just- no, at
The government is richer.
it has more money
The
to do
allocation,
more things for the people.
the allocation. You hear the news now. Government allocation is quadruple. Is almost quadruple.
Triple, yes.
Triple or quadruple.
Yeah.
I think you understand. Why the citizens are hungry?
Oh, I've been mentioned before now. What is
So,
happening? Were the citizens not hungry? Were we not
They
complaining?
told us
Were there
the
no
citizens
protests?
were not as
There
hungry
were
as
still
it
war
is
in
this
the
time.
country.
The citizens were not as hungry as it is this
Okay.
time. When you have 200,000 naira, it's not enough for you in a week with 3 children or 4 children.
But then,
But before this time, you will spend 200,000. You will still have enough to save for rainy days.
So
but
then-
now Nigerians are crying of hunger. That is the reality. We must not. Subsidy is a simple thing.
it is not the
We saw
subsidy
it
that is making
working.
you
We
hungry.
saw it
It is the
working.
ineffectiveness
What is
to manage
taking?
your situation,
Is
to
taking
manage your agriculture,
more than
to
six-
farm
hold.
and produce.
More than
You are not
60%
doing what
of your
you're supposed
earning.
to do.
Bam!
As a man,
Move
as a Nigerian,
move to
put
government,
Nigeria on the top.
and government has promised that it will manage this thing well. Has government managed it well? Why am I still hungry? Why am I still buying fuel at that high amount? The high amount is going to the governors. The governors are not doing anything. What are the governors doing?
Are we seeing that high level
The-
performance because of the increase? It's like a student who is getting 5,000 naira from his dad.
Okay.
And then tomorrow he starts getting 25,000 naira.
Okay.
As the life of Nigerians increased because subsidy has been removed.
Has the life improved?
The guardians who are
It's-
getting that
it's-
money
it's-
on
it's-
behalf
it's-
of the borders. Are
it's-
they helping those borders?
So
plan
it
their
is
lives?
relative.
Yeah.
You depend on how you
The
look.
governor was giving 450,000 naira
How you
to
look-
all ad returnees recently. That was leading to 1.5.
So we'll ask the question: is this money you're giving? Is it from government coffer? Because people have been calling. These are the loopholes. Hold on. Sorry. These are the loopholes we're saying. Don't use government money for hard. It's a private entity. If you have the resources, go. If you don't have resources, please stay in your country
Outside
and hajj
the
at home.
sponsor
So
them,
we'll ask the question:
Raj,
is it from his
I
pockets
personally
or not?
think
I don't
it's
know
wrong.
because I know that
those extra funds, 450,000 naira per participant.
I don't know.
Sponsored by that.
it should be probed. The EFCC should ask him where is he getting the
extra
money.
money.
So
What are they using it for?
if that is frivolities, that is not what we're
Or
saying.
is that not what most governors
That
are
is what
doing?
we're saying. That is not what we're saying. You should spend money on.
But what-
We're saying now that you make more money, spend money on the critical things that makes life more easier for the people. Spend money on it. You see what the president is doing with the education, with the student loan scheme. You see what he's doing with the credit scheme. You see what he's doing with the health scheme. You see a lot. You see a lot of states are copying.
Student loan?
Yeah, the student loan.
It's already a controversial.
People say it's controversial.
Yeah, but
I didn't get to the
that
loan.
does not mean that that does not mean you should stop.
No, I'm
It's
just saying
it's a noble.
And
It's a
we
noble.
just started it. It's
Yeah.
going to get its criticism. It's going to get its bashing, and it's going to grow. So, but let's wait and see. So, if you do the right thing, you see, when they now spend money frivolously, that's where I have issues. That look, Hajj, you are not expected as a governor to give anybody money for Hajj. If he can't go on his own, even some of the prayers we've been praying 20 years ago, what are the answers? Did you magic about those prayers?
The way, those, hold on.
You want to go, you don't go.
What people are doing is at the risk of moving away from the track. We are talking about the protesters.
Yeah.
And why they are protesting.
Yes.
I have said yes, they are right to protest, but I can't be passing by and say they are liars. The fact is that Nigerians are going through pain. And why are they going through pain? And now came to fuel subsidy that is central to the pain they are going now. Yeah. And I now analyze that fuel subsidy removal means taking away 60% of your earning to government. And government has promised that they will cushion the effect of removing 60% of your earning.
Yes.
But has the effect been cushioned? People are hungry. There is no middle class now.
Yeah.
It's either you are rich or you are don't say poor, very poor.
But
people are struggling to fuel their car.
Listen to you. Also understand that look, it takes a process. It takes time. Now the brand price was at what price was it sold before now? How much is it being sold?
How much is it now? Leave that thing. I've gone to check bag of rice. So it's still costly. It's costly. Half of bag is 50,000 naira. I went to a supermarket and asked. Leave that in there. 50,000 naira.
How much did you before? There was a time where
that means
there was 100 and something thousand. Yes, it was 70,000 at one time. So whatever the magic is,
so we should. It's like child back.
Give it time. You will get
that same bag in the same supermarket.
If these policies pan out, if these policies come to fruition, if we all have this hope and work, see, the government cannot do the work. They will do the policies. We are the ones that will do the work. So if we don't do the work, we will get back to the trenches. These protests will not stop.
We are still in that bad situation. Let us not deceive ourselves. So Nigerian situation is not okay, and that's why the president is working hard to make it okay.
So
let's agree that way. And in making it okay,
it's not only the president that will work.
They have promised the kind of cushioning of the effect.
Yes.
Of this hunger that is causing people to go steal, causing people to commit suicide, causing people to do all sort of negative things. There must be an increase. They must accelerate in ensuring that Nigerians don't die of hunger.
Okay, very quickly now, because I was starting with him, I was supposed to come to you, but it became a fusion, which is beautiful. But now, the protesters, they stated their demands. They came with placards, with banners, fuel subsidy, increase of.
Do we want to have fuel subsidy? Do we want to? We want fuel to be subsidized back again.
Yeah, some of them actually asked for
apologies. It won't come again.
Okay, we want a working country.
Because even the bourgeoisie that are the forefront of this country don't want. They
spoke about the killings.
Insecurity good.
They spoke about quite a lot of things.
Insecurity good. Hunger good. But that's first subsidy should be returned. Sorry, you're making a mistake. It won't come back. Because the private sector will have to run that thing. It has to be private. It has to be run by individuals.
They spoke about the fact that millions of Nigeria, according to Amnesty International, according to World Bank, are slipping more and more into extreme poverty.
That's why we have a government policy with a lot of credits, a lot of subventions, and so on. There are subsidies in other places. There is no subsidy in fuel, but there are subsidies in education. They are trying to subsidize agriculture. So if we can do this for the next 2 years again and see, it's panning out, it's coming out. The rice prices is going down. It's just that sometimes when you go to all this
brother,
when you go to all this
you are talking about and see. Governance is not kalu. I think understand the way you say and see. Whatever you want to do now should be a sure bet.
Apologies, sir.
You should not. Governance is not kalu. We do it and see. You must be sure of what you are doing. But so far, Nigerians are not happy.
Okay,
and things must be done in such a way that that happiness. Nigerians were once the world most happiest people. The world happiest people in the past. But today we have lost that. Now we have lost that.
Why are we the world happiest people? We are not happy because we had enough money or infrastructure. We are happy because the way we relate to poverty and things we don't lament, we don't complain. Maybe this is an eye opener that look we now start to complain. The removal of subsidy has opened our eyes and said, look, we are living on the fluke.
We have to move on to the last topic of the day. And, the All Progressive Congress, the APC, is the ruling party in Nigeria. But in some states, they are not the ruling party, and the party members themselves are scared. In Osun, in Anambra, APC members are scared that the governors in those states are courting the president, and the bromance between the president and the governors in these states is making party members scared. They are of the opinion that this bromance may be a soft tone, a soft language of the presidency supporting these governors to having a second term. Remember that leaders of the APC in Osun, in fact, organized a press conference to warn the governor to stay away from the president, and they were saying that the governor's term in the Abere Osun government house has an expiry date, and by 2026 the APC was going to kick the governor out of office. Of course, PDP responded. Osun PDP responded and said, hey, we have nowhere to go. Respect the president. You have no right to speak to the president that way, because he was simply having a fantastic discussion with the governor. Also, Anambra APC has come out to say, hey, the president was here in Anambra a couple of weeks away, and there was this sweet relationship between Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo and the president himself. Well, I'll be asking our people in the house what they think about this.
Yeah.
The APC is not ruling in these states, and it looks like the APC leadership in these states are scared. Is there an unwritten agreement somewhere between the president and some of these governors and say, look, I will give you a free hand in these states. When it's 2027, which is just a year after your election in 2026, do the same for me and look the other way. In local palace, they say Sojuno.
That is why I have said it is immoral for such agreement or not agree without even considering the position of the people. In a real democracy, you don't, when you go for that agreement, it is the people that will decide, if there was an agreement, definitely when a governor in the opposition party visits the president, they will discuss politics. If they say Sojuno or look the other way, the fact is that Sojuno could mean rigging. Sojuno could mean manipulating the process. Let's allow the people to decide who leads them. In Osun State, if Adeleke is doing well, let the people of Osun decide. If Adeleke is not doing well, let the people of Osun decide. I'm talking about 2027. In the next election, 2027. Oh, okay. In the next election, that is 2026. No, yes, 2026. In the next election, 2027. If the people of what will I call it, Osun, think Tinubu has done well, let them decide and let their decision.
No. You're not talking like a politician. This is not.
I'm not a politician.
We wait for the people to decide.
No.
We have to decide what we have to. As politicians, we will go to table, cut the opposition, and see if we can drag from the opposition into our own table. It's our right.
That is normal.
We can preach to you and win you over. It's a gospel of politicians. So if the governor of the Osun State wants to be a PDP, an APC member, he's welcome. The president has said it. He's not going to sit down and make the opposition comfortable. It is not his right.
It is disturbing.
It is his demand to make the opposition to be uncomfortable. It is disturbing. And to win a lot of good people from his party, so that he can show up.
If you have not done anything to the people, how will you? So what will I come to please the people? In a free and fair election, a non-performer will be voted out. But if a non-performer, is expecting that through rigging he could, manipulate and get back to power, no, that is not democracy. What we are saying, no, politicians should hands off process and ensure that the verdict of the people, the voting reflects the verdict of the people.
What if they needed each other? Okay, help me speak to your people to vote for me. Okay, help me tell your own people not to, move on aggressive campaign. And you don't.
Hold on. He asked me a question. You know that the people, the way politicians behave, they have seen us. They have seen the people as tabla rasas, as people who are not they are not sophisticated in voting. They vote anyhow wherever they push them to. You are sheep. Anywhere they push you to, you go and vote. If you are a developed country and the people are sophisticated in their voting, will you even venture come to say vote for a party that is
America as sophisticated as it is?
You are using America as an example.
Trump used to dissuade the people.
You see, let me tell you.
What did Trump use to dissuade the people?
When it comes
His
to
doggedness, his wishy-washy, his way and stuff.
do you know that
this is the
do
same?
you know that
We're all human beings.
When it comes to democracy, I don't even use UK and America.
Then where do you want to
I use Scandinavian countries. I do understand because we want honesty in our democracy.
So,
democracy without honesty, democracy without transparency is no more democracy. So I can't vote now. Then you channel my vote to the gutters, and you want to force yourself in. That is not democracy now.
The governor
militocracy is even better than that.
A right to cut themselves.
Of course,
I can cut the president to come to
I
my party.
know.
I can bring him in if I want to. He's for
Okay.
him to be, the whole of Akwa Ibom all went to APC.
Moved.
Why will you say the whole of Akwa Ibom? When
Delta,
let me tell you,
all went to APC.
from what you are saying,
Freedom of
what
association.
you are saying,
Freedom.
you have
That
taken
is-
away the people's power.
You have not taken away the people's power.
Democracy
No.
is the
It
people's
is-
power.
No,
Those who are calling APC are good. They are government officials.
Don't let us make.
But the
Don't let
people-
us
but
make
the people
mistakes.
put the powers in
Don't
the
let
hands
us
of-
make-
in
don't let
Delta,
us make
for example,
mistakes.
Sheriff Oboribo.
Yes, yes.
Oboribo took the powers of the people and moved it from the PDP to
No,
the APC.
no,
I'm
no,
saying he does not have the
no.
powers to do.
No,
You
no.
know,
It's actually a question.
The machinery of government
Yes.
is still with the people. Is still working for the people. But his interest in politics, in partisanship, has moved from PDP to APC.
That's what I'm saying. Doesn't he have
The
the right
machinery
to
of
do so?
government-
The way you are speaking is as if you are
No, no,
bringing
no.
the masses
No,
to the whole
no,
thing.
the
The
masses
masses
as much
that
as-
are hungry.
No, they put,
no, no, no.
they put their government powers
Okay,
in his hands.
was there no
Is it
defection
not
during
national
Jonathan
government?
time? Did Jonathan not lose?
So that's why
Jonathan lost. Now there were
that
defections
brings
everywhere.
you-
The fact is, perform for people to vote for you. Forget all this defection from people.
you can defect, you can move, you have a right.
You are after their stomach
It
infrastructure.
doesn't have any problem. Sometimes this movement is not about
Defection
infrastructure.
is
It's also
not a
about
problem.
the election for next year. It's not about next election. So people have the right to move. So they must move.
People have the right to
Having
move.
having moved, as
People have
much
the
as I
right to
agree
move.
with you,
But
that the people will
It will
decide.
not. It does not
People
determine
also-
who wins the election.
No, it doesn't. No,
It is the people.
it doesn't.
Nigerians are no
That's
more
where we
tabla rasas. Their Nigerians are no more idiots.
That is why.
If now we are carrying of hunger, APC that you are talking about, I know that before 2027 they will do things that will make the people happy because their vote counts. If their vote counts and their people are not happy, definitely you know where the vote will go to. But as it is now, something serious must be done. Because when you say performance, the other day I talked about 35% to the ruling party. They should move it to 60% to enjoy.
Okay,
Good vote.
we are getting comments online
vote, yeah.
for the first time on the show.
Yeah.
We're actually going to be bringing the views of our viewers into the show. So we'll be taking a few comments online, and this comment is from Ajibola Ayokunu Shola, who says Buhari's 8 years plus Tinubu's 2 years equals to 10 years of hardship on the masses. Yet they are still joining APC. Wow. Shedrack Okon says citizens can never feel the impact of governance when the funds made available for building critical development assets are not properly utilized. And then another Okon Udo says, which protest? Is it the one being sponsored by the same politicians that looted our money? John Musa is saying, stop celebration and have mercy for northern Nigeria facing killings by Boko Haram every day. All Nigerian leaders, be very careful because people are dying every day by Boko Haram. You guys, you see, they are very careful. And okay, I think he's just trying to pass his message there. Another person is angry that the FCT minister Nyesom Wike spent 38 billion to renovate the International Conference Center in Nigeria. He says, I think he's being sarcastic by saying that is good. And he's saying that primary schools in the FCT have been neglected for months. Teachers' welfare has been neglected for months. And he's saying, Minister Wike, Minister Wike, Minister Wike. All right. We are just getting the feel of the people. Yeah. And, it's interesting to just hear from the people. Yeah. I mean, look at the FCT, 38 billion. I mean,
it's an international center. We need to fix it and fix it right. It should have AI-generated doors and AI-generated windows, so that when we have meetings, we can just say AI.
This man,
please.
This man was not against that. I think he was just saying that you are doing all of this, and teachers, primary schools are operating, in terrible structures. Perhaps health centers are equally operating in such structures.
Our international center is
But
for our
we are
international
interested
medicine.
in
So we
spending
also need to
billions,
create an image
not
that
millions,
we
not thousands. There's
Yeah.
thousands. So many Nigerians, I think almost every Nigerian should have seen thousands. Then there's millions. Perhaps 30% or 40% of Nigerians have seen millions. There's billions. Where maybe 5 or should I say 4% of Nigerians. Then there's trillions. Where only 1% of Nigerians.
Mine is that Nigerians are not asking for too much. Give them the basic needs and
As
there will be
you are
issues.
fixing international center, you fix
So while we're fixing all these things too, we should not be vandals. We should not be destroyers. I can hear the other day, maybe in one of the states, and the teachers were selling furnitures that government had provided for public schools.
Those are terrible people. Unfortunately,
People are stealing manholes, destroying life. So people, that's why I always say, for me, the blame of every situation in this country rests in the hands of the people.
All right, we have to go. Unfortunately, time has gone. Our producer has saying time for us to wrap up. A very big thank you to Mr. Chukwudi Akasike for being a part of this. A very big thank you to Mr. Adeleke Aliu for being a part of this. The biggest thanks, like I always say, belongs to you, the viewer, and your voice was heard today with your comments. Hopefully, you do more of that on our other shows. Congratulations, Nigeria. Congratulations, Nigerians. 26 years of uninterrupted democracy. We are moving, gradually, we are moving to the permanent site. Hopefully, I will be celebrating next year. Nigerians won't be in the states they are in at the moment, where people are screaming hunger, where people are screaming hardship. The president promised that today. We do hope that he keeps to his word. My name is Shegun, and I say, have yourselves a fantastic weekend that begins tomorrow. Stay out of trouble. God bless you.
Who go tire? Then you go tire. Then you go tire. Who go tire? Then you go tire.